we've been best friends for 17 years. We met at Texas.
2003.
Yep, we've been in 2 Women's College World Series together. After Texas, you played in Japan. You played for Rockford Thunder. You AAA Pride. You caught so many superstars, Megan. Cat Osterman. Danielle Lawrie.
Before Rockford, I was drafted and played 1 season for Chicago Bandits.
Oh, wow.
I just want you to forget that I also caught for Jenny Finch.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
2 blonde bombshells right there. For the Bandits? No, it's for the Pride?
No, but it's for the Bandits.
Bandits, yeah.
And I'm there. And then Mackenzie Vandergeest, who is the catcher for Jenny at U of A, was Cat's catcher on Rockford.
This was wow. Yeah. So you guys pulled the switcheroo.
We did.
Wow.
Anyhow, I feel like that's a nice little notable thing. Another pitcher.
Yeah, I don't know if there has ever been another catcher to catch all of those pitchers. I think you're the only one.
Probably. I mean, we can go through and list them all. I think I saw just when scrolling through Twitter, as I've done a lot lately, I realized that there's like this little softball. I'm not going to call it a beef or whatever, but people are like, whatever. Why aren't we talking about like 2010 to 2015, like great pitchers during that era too? And it's like, whoa, it's a good point. Everyone goes like back in the day, right? And I feel like everyone stops right at Cat, and then jump to like current day stuff,
right?
And there was a lot of great pitchers there, and a lot of them played for the Pride. So that's where like the come into it. Chelsea Thomas.
Oh, right.
I bet you there just hasn't been anyone that's caught all these pitchers because they didn't catch for so many years after their college. So
can you name drop some more pitchers?
Oh man, yeah, I will.
Okay.
Did you say Danielle Lawrie already?
I did.
Danielle, Jordan Taylor, Chelsea Thomas, Hannah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, she won a couple national championships at Florida, so that was on my tail end, and that was fun being able to catch for her. And then now you're like putting me on the spot, and I'm nervous. I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, breathe.
Oh man, come on. I bet you could help me with this one.
Rockford Thunder, USSSA Pride.
I know. Jessica Salinger, that goes back to the Bandits. She was pitching. I think she is in the Hall of Fame for Georgia Tech. So right. She was another big one that was there.
You got Jordan, right? Taylor.
I did. Yep, and her nasty ass changeup. My God, it was great to be able to throw that. She's still pitching. She's over in Japan right now.
Yeah,
so she hasn't hung it up. The one pitcher I have not caught in an actual game, only in scrimmage, is Monica Abbott. Monica and I are the same age. This is something, I mean, I think you and I have talked about before, but we never played Tennessee. In my full 4 years at Texas and Tennessee never played one another. Not even when we got to the World Series, we were always on different sides of the bracket.
Right.
I caught her once at a USA tryout, but other than that, never caught her. But I feel like almost every other pitcher that's come through those ranks I have, even though I'm coming up on blank. So I feel, Blair Luna, duh.
Oh, right, so I know.
This goes back to that whole like era. I feel like that, you kind of jump over, but Blair Luna was awesome to be able to coach her for a year at Texas and then watch her get drafted to the Pride and then play with her. She was fun.
Yeah. I wish she hung around a little longer because I thought she had really good stuff.
She did. She had a nasty drop, just as
Mm-hmm.
much as I think like everyone wanted to compare her and Cat all the time. And she did such a good job defining herself and making herself her own pitcher, and did really good, not only for Texas, but after with the Pride as well.
Mm-hmm. When you think about all the pitchers that you've worked with, is there one common thread between all of them in terms of like their characteristics or approach or mentality?
Um, I'd have to say their work ethic, right? I think I knew right away how much I would have to help in a bullpen, depending on how much of a routine they had. I guess that's the only thing I could say about that. I think you understand a pitcher once you start to understand their routine, and you only learn that when you get into their bullpen. So Cat had a very strategic way of warming up, or superstitious. I don't think they'll say superstitious. They'll say it's a routine, right? What pitch they start with and why. Danielle, she always did the exact same series. And it was the first time I've ever had anyone do that. Instead of warming up one pitch and then, kind of working into that one pitch and then transitioning to the next. She always mixed all of her pitches, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but I feel like she'd throw a rise, then she'd go change, or curve, and then she'd throw her change, and then her backdoor, and then a screw. So she would always move that, and then we'd start close, just like wrist snaps, and then take a step back, and then she starts working into her full arm circle, and then she'll go and take that. She'll do one round through every one of them, back up, one round through every one of them, back up, one round through every one of them, back up, until it turned into a long toss. And then she would do her grips and her spins even with a long toss. So I found that was something that I enjoyed the most out of getting to catch the greatest pitchers of our time every year, is they all had their own. Jordan Taylor, she had turned into a closer for our team. And so to watch the way that she was able to prepare herself and get ready just like that, she understood her body. She understood how she needed to warm up and what she needed to throw. And she understood that, kind of like a Mariano Rivera, right? If you have just one pitch and you utilize that one, and you can, make it dance the way she does, then she relies on that. And she has more than one pitch, but it's that
Mm-hmm.
change up that you just can't sit on, because it's just nasty. It's so
Yeah.
good. It stops midair and then just drops. It's crazy. So I think that's what I liked, is I guess I'm fortunate, right? I didn't, after a certain time point in my life, I guess after you're 18, I never caught a mediocre pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it, right? So like,
yeah.
I only know, like, okay, this is what the greats are gonna do. And I kept moving forward. I was like, oh yeah, this is what they all have in common, right? They all have in common the work ethic. They all know how they want their bullpens to look. And and the bigger thing you realize that is in the pro league, because you don't always have a pitching coach there to say, Chelsea, go get your snaps in, or, have this whole layout. And I loved getting to catch all of them, because they all came from different programs. And so to learn just a little bit more about what it is that they were doing or how they learned, it was great to listen to them talk to one another. Feel like forever, a strong foursome that were in the bullpen for us for a long time was Cat, Danielle, Chelsea, Jordan, and all four of them worked really well. And then we'd have pitchers come in and out from there. But those are really strong programs when you go back and look where they came from and how they helped each other out. So
nice.
Yeah.
Let's turn the table a little bit.
Okay.
So if this is like hypothetical, if I were to ask those pitchers,
not history, right?
No, there's no history involved. No history involved. You don't have to remember anything. But if I were to go and ask Kat, Danielle, Chelsea, Jordan, what characteristic they valued most in you, what do you think they would say and why?
I think it would be my pitch calling and then my confidence in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing I've always understood is if I can, and it helped. Again, let's talk, like you think about the pitchers who we're talking about. I legitimately would tell Kat when we're going over scouting reports, okay, great, she's good at drop balls. So, Kat might be like thinking that maybe we need to work the curve or the rise. I'm like, yeah, but is she going to be able to hit your drop ball? It's great, she hits the ball down in the zone, but not every pitcher's pitch is taking a 4-inch drop out of the zone. Maybe they kind of curve or they kind of go down. But really, unless someone's saying they're like jacking Angelica Seldon, okay, they can hit a drop ball. Maybe we're not going to do the same thing, but no one else was throwing drop balls like the two of them at the time. So I feel like if I was able to go and pump their egos, pump their confidence up, whether that's in the game or in the bullpen, because they're human, right? And we all know what it's like to have our confidence kind of sway a little bit left and right, depending on what game's going on, depending if the coach is going to you next, or, why isn't coach having me in the starting, rotation? You just figure out a way to make sure your teammates, but specifically these pitchers that live on an island, are still staying mentally strong and together. And so I felt like that was my biggest help to them, was reminding them like they are the greatest. They are the ones that are supposed to be out there. But then number two, I had so much confidence in their pitches that I had to make sure they did too, because if they didn't throw the pitch I wanted, I had already set up the next 3 pitches. So they've got to hit their spot and in that location if we're going to get the strikeout. So you got to be on the same page as me too. So I felt like it kind of worked in my advantage too, but at the end of the day in theirs, because then they would be able to get the out.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Thinking back to your pro days.
Yes.
What's maybe one of the funniest or craziest road trips that you can remember?
Man, I feel like every season was just a road trip for me, because our seasons are only 3 months long, and you always left home. I would pack up, a couple bags from Austin, go down to Florida, which already felt kind of like a road trip because you're in Florida for a vacation, and then you're on the road. And I feel like every season was a little bit different from us. Sometimes for the Pride specifically, our job was to play on the road at some of these events USSSA was putting on to like further help build these events up. And plus there was usually youth tournament going around, and it would help fill the stadium. So it worked twofold. I'd say always going to Chicago was a favorite. In the summertime, it's the best time to be in Chicago. You could always throw in a Cubs game, even if it was just a day game for a few innings. But for at least 3 years, Francesca Anea, she played at Florida. Obviously, Fran. Yeah. But her and I were road roomies, and so that was always an adventure. Anytime we were on the road. She was fresh out of college. I was 3 years older. Yeah, and we just made the most out of, I feel like, every city we went to, whether that was trying some local restaurant or going to a local bar and just figuring out what the heck you do in Akron, Ohio, and then all of a sudden I've been in the league 7 years, and now I'm realizing, oh my God, there's so much to see in Akron. We'd start figuring out on off days, where lakes were, can we rent pontoon boats, and you just kind of make the most of it.
Yeah, I remember when
you're looking for a more exciting story, but I don't know.
Oh, no, that's fine. I've heard some exciting stories. Yeah, I remember when I was in Akron that one year I coached in the league, you recommended that winery, which was so awesome. And we had so much fun that day. And you would never think that existed there.
Never. I mean, and that one also took me probably another 8 years to figure out that was there. I mean, hell, I didn't even know Cleveland. We could get to Cleveland. And so that became kind of a theme, I think, over summers too. If you would have a day off, in another city is, can you go see a baseball game? So going to see the Indians, White Sox, Cubs. We were, one season. I do miss this. One season we had a team based out of Nashville, and that was exciting because it was, oh man, this is where I need Google.
You can Google.
It was this this college that the Tennessee Diamonds played out of. This is where I need to phone a friend like Lauren Johnson or Jamie Loper, Shanna Diller.
Yeah.
But there is a small college that was there that they played out of, but it was literally right in the heart of downtown Nashville. So that was exciting. We got to go out and experience Nashville, which is very similar to Austin. I feel like only country music, which is a good time.
Yeah, and just a wild town.
It's wild. Maybe that's why it was only there one season. I don't know. Helps
maybe
trouble.
I mean, Chicago's still around.
Yeah, but at least Rosemont.
It's you're kind of yeah, it's a trek. You're right.
Yeah, but Rosemont now has like their own little downtown city.
Yeah, super cute.
Stone's throw away. You have plenty of places open until 2 a.m. You can have a good time. That's what's an interesting thing. I feel like my softball time, I'm taking a wild right turn here.
Okay, let's go.
Prepping me for this quarantine, Ches, has been my 2 seasons in Japan where everyone was living 12 hours behind me, right? And so I really learned how to be by myself when I was in Japan, especially that second part. Kat and I went over together for first part of the season. Second part of the season, it was just myself that went over. So you talk about solitary confinement. I mean, this shit's easy compared to that over there. Because I can even, at least if I go to the store here,
can't speak the language.
Over there, it was just like, okay, see you. Okay. So anyways, I feel like that prepared me. And then the other reason is because I did go off and play softball for, even though it's just 3 months, I feel like a lot of, and I'm sure you understand what I'm going to say here, is a lot of people right now don't know how to, well, depending if they have a job or not, right?
Right.
There's that they are still at home working. But if for whatever reason, you're furloughed, you're laid off, your job just doesn't exist right now, it's hard for some people to know how to just be. And for up until I was 30 years old, I feel like I was on a summer vacation for 3 months all the time. So right now, I feel very prepared on how to keep myself entertained during the day when there's not a whole lot to do.
I'm with you on that. When I went to coach in Austria for those 3 months, you just learn. I mean, granted, I was able to go outside and wherever I wanted, but couldn't talk to people because I didn't speak German. I knew very little words. But it definitely, and I've traveled, and we've both traveled alone. I think I took a trip to a different town in Germany, and then I took a trip to Italy for a week, and it was just by myself. And there's definitely challenges. There are definitely moments when my mom probably would have been worried, but I think
I know. And you mean like when you picked up a hitchhiker?
Oh, that was a different time.
Mom wasn't just worried. Your friends were like, "You crazy? You made it. You're here.
I'm here. All kinds of people hitchhike across Europe. Right. It's a thing. Okay. Kind of circling back to memory lane.
Okay.
What's one of your favorite memories of you and I in college? I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Is it softball related?
You can go both. You can go either or.
I mean, because that scale is.
Yeah, I know. Let's go softball. Start with
Okay,
softball.
pickoffs.
Oh
Pickoffs.
yeah.
That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing with you. Is pickoffs at first, pickoffs at second. I think my very favorite was when we did it twice in one inning.
Yeah.
Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
Picked off. Someone leads off the inning with a double, very first pitch, because that was like, I know you and I talked about it, but I was like, there's nothing greater. This runner's on second base, like, I just got a double up Cat,
Yeah.
like they're like themselves. And then very next pitch, it's a pitch out, which Cat was so great at because her pitch outs and because I threw from my knees, we'd keep them low, so they were curve balls. So it just played right into it.
Yeah.
Then you'd sneak on over there. So stealthy, boom, boom, out. Mm-hmm. Like, they're like still excited they hit a double off Cat and they're living in La La Land. And it was like, oh, bye, you're out. Mm-hmm. And then when we got to do it, I don't know if it was the very next batter or maybe Cat probably had a strikeout. And then someone gets on first. Same freaking thing. You and I. See you later. And I loved it because you and I, I think you have to have that want. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but we had Cat on there, so everyone's always focusing on her and what she's gonna do. We're like, come on, we want some of the attention too. We're pretty good back here, right? And so I think you and I were always like watching these runners, and we were so in tune to that. And I think I love that.
Yeah. And just to give people some context, I think was that the season we picked off 12 runners?
Probably. I would have to imagine. Yeah.
So Megan and I, it was what? What did you say?
I think it's 2006.
Yeah. We had like secret signs with each other. And it like never failed. Anytime when like I knew, like you knew. Mm-hmm. I mean, we probably didn't even need the sign, to be honest with you. We had a secret sign we'd give to each other. I remember like at second base, I could pretty much get to second base or first base like blindfolded. Like I knew the routes to take, how many steps, cheating over just a couple of steps without being noticed. And it was just so fun to play that game. And
I loved it. It was a game within a game. And I, you try to explain this to people all the time. And when trying to talk to second basemans or first basemen, majority, there were a few over at third that we would get, but a little bit more risky. But even like trying to teach someone like how to casually back up, like, hey, don't give it away just because I just gave in the old to your first baseman. I'm like, just turn around if you're playing in, and remind your outfield there's so many outs and take like a few steps back, like be a little inconspicuous.
Yeah, I know.
The way.
Yeah, just really good actresses.
The best was Cat though in the first ones when she would. I should stand up and do it, but it was like the very first one, and she would go down, but her arms fly up in the air. So you have these huge. I'm sorry, I have to do it, but it's like here she is. She pitches, and then she's like, "There's nothing sneaky about that, Cat. I just need you to actually move to the left or the right." And plus, what the hell happens when I freaking nail you in the head
or
and you're
her hand? Yeah,
no way, left or right. Not this friggin' 6-foot arm. She's an inflatable doll. I mean, you can't. People know something's happening.
Mm-hmm. I also think about the number of pickoffs we had, but for some reason, like those years where the emphasis was on obstruction, and we probably would have added an extra 2 or 3 runners for people.
Oh yeah.
Remember? And I was like so pissed off one year. There was a photo taken and I was like not even in the base path. I was like in front of the base path. I already caught the ball and was tagging the girl, and they called obstruction. I was like,
you're right. Because then
I
as
was
like
so
runners,
pissed.
I'm like, why aren't you guys calling this on stolen bases then? You know,
Yeah.
covering, how are you not calling obstruction when the way they like shortstops used to cover, like
Yeah.
full leg in front of the bag and
Yeah. Totally. Cool. Good story time.
So I love that. I love kickoffs with you. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously the greatest was when we got to go back to back home runs in a super
Yak
regional
yak.
versus Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
Yeah, that memory came up in my feed, and my mom reposted it because she's
Oh,
like
you
got that sign, and
about
she's
our
like,
parents.
I
Yes.
know, Mama likes. They were so drunk after that game. My dad barely walked to the car. I was
We're
like, oh
sitting up
boy.
on that bus in left field with Tina Boutel's parents, and I know for a fact her dad had like a bottle. I don't know if they were drinking Vouv up there or whatever,
Yeah.
but the next thing you know, we're looking up there and they're spraying each other because Tina went yard in that game too.
Yeah.
Oh, the happiest parents. They were just
Yeah.
so proud.
Yeah. So proud.
We scored more than 2 runs.
I know. I know. I finally got a hit.
Yes. 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 Oh man.
Nothing like getting that monkey off your back. And then having, I think Stacey Newman was calling that game like Severs hasn't gotten a hit all regional. Yes, I know, Stacey. Very aware of that. So after playing pro, you retired in 2016. You coached the Pride, you're assistant GM. You continue to work for USSSA Pride, and then you continue to work as an ESPN analyst. Talk a little bit about your first experience calling a game, and what do you remember, and what did you learn from that?
I mean, I try to flush that memory as quick as possible.
Okay.
For anyone who knows me, quiet would not be a word that you would use to describe me.
No.
At all. And when I think of that first game, I went back and listened, and I do think, someone was in my ear, probably like speak up or all this other stuff. And I went back and listened, and I'm like, whose voice is that? I sound like a late night host on a radio, like listening to smooth jazz. Like, wow. I don't know what the shit. I have no idea what I was saying. I was just like, wow. And that was a really nice like, what is this voice? And like, why do you think, like, just because you don't understand, right? It's not like you get sent to a school of what to expect or what to do. And it's not until later that you realize, oh, there is an audio guy in the truck that's actually has been listening to you before you went on air to adjust the volume of your voice. So if I am my loud, normal self, I'm not blowing everyone's eardrums out, but like, if you don't know what you don't know. And so here I am whispering throughout the game. So that was brutal. Yeah. So I guess though, the moment you can start listening to yourself and not pushing pause or pushing delete, you're starting to get better. Hopefully.
Yeah. About how many games in do you think it took for you to kind of feel comfortable and at ease with the process of prepping for a game and then calling a game?
I don't know that I ever feel 100% comfortable until I actually get to the field that day. I think every year I've tried preparing a little bit differently. I've been living in an archaic way with all my handwritten notes until this year. Of course, this year I start a whole new prepping process and I love it. And I'm got my spreadsheets going on Excel and Google sharing it all. I'm just like ready to help the world. And then the world stops, but I'm going to use it next year still in 2021. Yeah, but you learn and you ask questions just like we do in anything. Jessica Mendoza was a huge help for me at the very beginning, asking, what kind of questions do you ask? When is it appropriate to ask questions? Then you realize you're a part of, because even the first couple games, I think it's more you're a fill-in usually for someone else that's supposed to be doing it. So I was a fill-in on LHN for either Amanda or Cat. They were the ones that were commentating LHN at the time and getting most of the reps that maybe get like 5 games in a season, which isn't very much. I mean, it's a lot. But then if they're so scattered out, how do you really know if you're doing well, getting better? And you just have to make sure you're recording what you're doing and going back and listening and being your own teacher, which I think anyone who's played a sport, we're all pretty hard on ourselves. So if you do take the time to go back and watch yourself, you can learn a lot. And then you start watching games a lot more. I know that I love softball, but I'm not usually setting a timer to make sure to get home to watch a certain game. At least I wasn't. And I think this was my 9th season starting calling games. So 9 years ago, you're kind of into it. I was playing Japan. Sometimes, you and I talk about this a lot. I need a break from softball because it's just so much part of your life. So I had to start thinking of it more as work instead of just pleasure. And listening to how other people are calling a game, it kind of starts ruining just watching softball because now you do have to listen. Whereas maybe before I would watch the game and not listen to what people are saying. Mm-hmm. But if I do that, then I'm not understanding what makes this person good. What do you like that this person's doing? And then you start learning, what makes you stand out, I would have to say, compared to everyone else that's commentating on a game. Listen to a lot of baseball. I personally like listening to a homer at a baseball game because that's kind of what I was getting to do, right? I get to call all Texas's home games. Well, what makes, if you are a huge, let's just say, I don't know, St. Louis Cardinals fan, and I knew a few people that like they were home every afternoon to watch the Cardinals game, and you listen to the way that they kind of engage with the TV, it's because that commentator, that play-by-play, and the analysts are there every day with these people. So you start understanding, how you build that with the people listening in. And I felt Longhorn Network and for softball and for probably most sports was the first time softball's ever had that, because any other time softball's on TV, it's a big event because they were only on like 10 times, a year for a while, if that, back when you and I played. It was only just the World Series, which is the biggest of big events. So you hear these huge excitement and every pitch is huge. But like, what about our Wednesday midweek game? Yes, it's a big deal, but how do we get into the nitty gritty and realize majority of our viewers on those games already know all this stuff that you want to say, right? So how do you start trying to, still keep their attention when you're on the 30th game of the season? So those were different reasons why I would watch a little bit more baseball day games to understand like how you keep that flow. Yeah.
Right on.
Long-winded answer, sorry.
Yeah. Well, let's take a hard left.
Okay.
I'm going to share something with you that hopefully you can commentate on what's happening here.
I know exactly what this is.
Start it from the beginning. This is Megan Willis behind the plate.
And Nicole Trimboli's hitting. She plays for, this is in Akron. So
yeah. Cat's on the mound. Nicole Trimboli at the plate.
There's a runner on first. I hope it has to do with the runner stealing. Yes.
Boom.
Oh.
I know it's not funny, but
It is because she's okay. And we've definitely talked about it since, because she then also played with the Pride. But, and I actually talked about this.
Oh, wait. Hold on for a second.
Oh, what?
Oh, we can watch that video next.
Anyhow, usually, and I think I saw this happen this year, but a lot of batters would cross home plate to cover the runner stealing in front of me, because I would throw from my knees and I had no problem throwing it into the batters. Usually it'd be low back, high back, never as high as her head. So that was unfortunate. And the risky thing about that, if the umpire doesn't think she crossed out of the batter's box and it hits her, that ball's live. So, I mean, that's why I had to scoot on after it. But she should have been out. If you're out of the batter's box and the ball hits you, dead ball, runner goes back to first, batter out. In the life get in my
way. Didn't you hit Jamie Loprise in the back as well?
It wasn't, but she does a really great reenactment. It was, I think Hinshaw is who, after talking, we talk about it all the time, her and Amanda. And yeah, and it was at the Big 12 tournament, and she did it, and her hands go up in the air like I shot her in the back, drops down to her knees and then onto the feet. And the way Jamie or Amanda will say it is that it's like that was the third out, and everyone like clears the field and they go back out there, and she's kind of like gets up to go back in the batter's box. And Coach Evans grabs her. She's like, no, you're out. We're going to go out on the field. Like, this is embarrassing. Get out of here.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to video number 2. Although, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get a bat review from you, but.
Oh, this is Mike.
Oh, wait. Shoot. Too many windows.
Technology.
Where'd it go?
You know what the greatest thing? It's kind of a bummer, but it's great too. But with all these things going on with, see a bomb, share a bomb. I didn't hit a lot of home runs. So that's number one. Number 2, trying to find any video clips of me hitting a home run is near impossible. But it is a bummer that we didn't, the way that I love how much play softball gets now. And I love how much content these players get to hold on to of their playing days.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd love to be able to do, to go back and clip off, like we're talking about those pickoffs, but you just can't find the games because they're either not on TV, so you don't have the content, and if they are, they're on a CD, and like, where do you even play these? Because my computers don't even have DVD or CD like slots anymore.
We'd have to get a converter, but I don't have those games.
I actually think Dad was just here. He drove out, and I feel like every time he comes out, or my mom, they always have like a box of my old things, and so they're like slowly getting rid of me. Like, okay, you guys could have tossed some of this stuff a long time ago, but
I bet Looper or Coach Clark have them. They have to.
Oh, for sure. But I do think I have a couple I'll have to share with you next time you come over.
Okay. Deal.
I don't know how the hell we're ever going to watch them, but I have certain games.
Okay. I look forward to it. All right. Are you ready for video number 2?
No.
This doesn't, you're not in it, but what I'd like us to do is just to do a dance review. on this particular video. You ready?
Ready. Oh my God.
All right. We've got, is that McCombs Field?
There's Chelsea. Yeah. She was a former Texas softball player.
Got some alumni. Here comes Miss Cat Osterman. Uh-oh. Look at her go. A little booty pop. Uh-oh, she's going shopping.
She has go shop. You must be ahead of me. This is the greatest. Even you, and would she just go catch a fish there? Yeah. Look at the paparazzi. They are loving it.
Yeah, they are loving it. All right. Now for the serious review. What did you think about Kat's moves during that dance-off?
You know, I felt like she was really herself. She was not a robot. She really let loose. I think that you saw some rhythm going in there. So yeah, I think that and
the personality.
Also, yep, those are the dance moves she came up with. Like that's exactly what my dad would do at a wedding. Yeah. So I don't know how we can dive into that, but the shopping cart's the greatest.
Yeah.
And she's getting them off the top shelf.
Yeah, and she's getting them for me because I can't reach anything on the top shelf. Thankful for the tall people in my life.
I actually just saw her post a video of her and Bracken, her stepdaughter, dancing, which is pretty cute because she's been having her do her workouts with her. And so Bracken says, well, if basically I made this up in my head, but if I'm going to do that, then you're going to let me choreograph a dance for you. And watching, you got to go on Facebook and look that one up, Chez. You'll have a good laugh. It was cute because you love that she's doing it, but she's so out of her element. I mean, I would be too, but this is even better. And she does it, and the way she starts it, and you know this face as well as any of us that's played with her, it's like that roll the eye. It's like, I do not want to be her. Me. And then she kind of turns around and then gets into it. But I was just so impressed. I mean, there had to have been a million steps. This thing goes on for a couple minutes. I'm like, well, I'm just impressed. You remembered all the steps.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. Were they 8 counts? You know, who was counting you guys off?
Yeah. Might have to investigate there.
Yeah, feel like it.
Okay, let's do one more review.
Okay. I give that, are we going to give these?
You want to give it a grade or a number?
1 through 5?
Sure. 5.
1 through 10. Okay.
5.
Oh my gosh, should we tell everyone how cute it is that you were 5 in college and I was number 5 after college?
Oh my God.
Besties. I give her dance then a 3.8.
Okay. Wow, that's high.
Yeah.
I'm probably a 3.
Yeah, you're a 3. Okay.
Yeah. Just right in the middle, kind of. I guess it would be a 2.5, right? I'll give her that extra bump, that 0.5.
Nice.
All right. So this is a more recent video. I'm sure you've probably seen it, but let's go ahead and do our own personal review.
Oh, I actually loved this.
All right, let's watch it for those of you who haven't seen it.
My thing though, AJ, are you working out in those curls? Yep.
No, she ain't.
No. She said, look at this. I am not just a softball player. Lauren, love this. What's the name of this challenge? I expect you to know this.
The caption was roll call.
Okay.
You know, I have serious questions about.
And Erica's over in Italy right now, right?
Yep.
Italy.
Yeah. So they get all dressed up. Where are they going after this? You think they just hop on a Zoom call?
100% it's for the gram.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this is like a TikTok thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I love that Kiki is pretty much, well, she comes up there just looking like she did kind of roll out of bed. And I love that.
Yeah.
That's this, I think.
Glowed up.
Amanda. You know who I think they're missing, but maybe that's because this is all, I understand why she's there because she's still going to be in college. But you need a little Haley Cruz action, I feel like, to get it. Or your cousin. They're just the queens of TikTok.
Well, I think they started it. Oregon softball did their own videos just like this.
Yeah. Look at Jade. Well, then I see Jade and I'm kind of like, where's Jen Salling? They've been like all over each other's social medias. I think Jade works with Pro Swings, current step down there. So ready to see Jen do the little switcheroo. It's fierce.
You didn't get an invite?
I'm not.
How come you didn't get an invite? How come I didn't get an invite?
We don't play professional softball anymore.
No, neither does Lauren Chamberlain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one?
Let's do it. No, I think we need oh my God. Yeah. I think we need to do the unsexy version of that where it's like we're about to go out, you know, we're like dressed up, we've got our keys, but in all actuality, we can't go anywhere. So it's just us in our house.
I think the number
like
one
on the couch, like opening the pantry, warming stuff up in the microwave, just stuff that we were doing that's so not sexy in our pajamas. And
usually with socks and slides.
Yeah.
How many times have you had to catch yourself? Maybe like take your socks off if you are going to go out in public in those slides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not usually wearing socks in the house. Are you?
Yeah.
You're a sock wearer?
I'll go from the trail that is socks and right to the house. I put in my slides.
Okay. Yeah. I have my Birks by the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I'm not, are you on TikTok?
No. I did just download the app today. I made one small step. You know, I was trying to
create your own TikToks, or is this so you can stay up to date on TikTok?
It was for my own curiosity.
Okay.
I mean, there's been a couple things that I've watched that are funny.
Yes.
But it's been a higher percentage of unfunny for me.
Now the interview is on you because this is basically my whole internal dialogue. It's like, okay, am I doing this just to know what's going on, to stay in the know, to kind of stay hip? Because I'm not filming it. I'm posting. I mean, it's already too much to keep up with Instagram.
Yeah. So
Facebook and Twitter.
So if we were to recreate this video, what is the thing that we're tossing back and forth from each other? Is it rice?
I wish it was rice. Oh.
Yeah. Is it a bottle of wine? Is it a wine opener?
Wine opener. That's brilliant. Because we're in different houses, right? We're not together.
Yeah.
Wine opener.
We're on to something here. Yeah. Or maybe some kind of snack.
I think we can film it like vertical these days. You don't have to make it horizontal anymore.
The more you know.
The
more you know.
Like, screwing it up.
Yeah. Or maybe we're tossing like a face mask to each other. No.
Like what kind of face mask?
I guess that wouldn't
like the catcher's face mask.
No, like what we all have to wear now when we go outside.
Oh, one of those. I don't even. What an idiot! Yeah. I said a catcher's face mask.
Yeah, that'd be a little heavy. And then nobody would know who we are, Megan. We're just trying to blow up. Trying to get famous.
Yeah. I'll throw you that and some gloves.
Okay. Perfect. Maybe some Purell. I think that's what should be the constant tossing is Purell bottle. Just like,
Okay.
yeah. No.
Seems like you're gonna start this.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a maybe for me.
What's new? You have
Thank
a
you.
lot on your plate, though.
I know. Do you think that's a problem? I'm an overcommitter or I'm uncommitted?
No, I'm committed, but I think you're just have a lot on your plate right now, just because of work,
Yeah.
softball, and like what the heck? I mean, you gotta. We don't need to go down this rabbit hole of quarantine COVID talk, but
Right.
I'm glad you're busy.
Thank you.
I mean, I would love for you to make a walk around the lake with me at 6 feet apart, of course, folks.
Yeah.
They're
Today,
closing it down though
I know.
tonight.
So where are you going to walk now?
I guess my neighborhood in circles.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lap around.
Asphalt. I just don't want to. It's not as fun to walk on asphalt as it is gravel.
Yeah. If people weren't, I was actually thinking that the other day when I went for a walk around the lake. I was like, there's way too many people on this trail.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to shut this down. And people are like breathing heavy and like spitting. I was like, this isn't good.
Yeah. Maybe keep the snot rockets to a minimum, folks.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
I like going down to Pleasant Valley though. I mean, at least when you go that way, it's pretty empty.
Yeah, I agree. Well, those are all my questions. Do you have any questions for me?
What have you cooked recently?
Oh, that brings me to my quarantine snack of the week. Chocolate chip cookies.
Whoa, nice.
I know. I baked the ones from Half Baked Harvest, the cookbook that you got me for my birthday.
Let's all talk about that. How great is that cookbook? So easy.
So easy. They didn't turn out as chewy as they were promoted to be, but they're still delicious. And I have way too many here. So I'm really trying to limit my intake of cookies. But that is my quarantine snack of the week.
Ding. My
What about
quarantine
you?
is not as exciting, but I had chicken that I wanted to do something with, so I just boiled it up and shredded it, and I've been making like a chicken salad thing. But I've been using pears because that was something, again, it's fun when you go and try to limit your grocery store, whether you're going or getting it delivered only like one time a week. And I'm sure many people do this without COVID or being quarantined. But it's really forced my hand into cooking and trying new things. So I've enjoyed doing that and making sure I'm like cooking it by when things are going to expire, so you're not wasting food at the same time.
Yeah, same. I cooked 2 things this week, so I alternate them, so I'm not eating the same thing for like every meal. So I did some like chicken tacos, and I make my own tortillas. And
you're making your own tortillas? Holy shit! You upped your.
I know. Bam. All you got to do is add water.
Yeah.
That's it. You add water and you smash it and you put it on the little skillet. Let it firm up.
Flour or corn?
Corn.
Are you grinding that corn?
No. I just buy the masa from the store and then add water.
Oh. Okay. Literally add water only.
Yeah, it's super simple. You just like mix it up together and then you put it on the skillet, add your filling, add some lettuce. I made some guacamole.
Boom.
Yeah, bam. And then I made from the Half Baked Harvest, I made chicken gumbo. So
how did it turn out?
Good. It's good.
Nice.
Some rice. because we had so much rain last week and it was cold. I felt like I needed some comfort food.
Yeah, I did a homemade chicken noodle. I did not make my own noodles,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love it. I like that. It's in it. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think my public service announcement is to check on your people. Um, I think that's an interesting thing, and not necessarily have to check in on everyone. You know, who are the people that are important in your life? Check on those, and check on your people that are single and living alone. I think that is crazy.
Thanks, Megan. Megan
Yeah,
checks up on me.
it's an interesting thing, and if you know that those people haven't been alone a lot, being alone in your own space. I mean, everyone's gonna find, grass is always greener. Some people are. I'm very grateful. I guess this is a way to look at it. Why I don't have kids right now. I'm listening to my poor friends with kids wanting to pull their hair out, trying to do it all. So I don't know. Maybe we have it good, and the other times maybe it's tough. So just check on your people.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And thanks for checking up on me.
Yeah.
I can be in my little work cave over here.
I mean, if I don't do it, it also keeps me sane. So,
Totes.
If not, I'm just talking to my damn cat, and I am turning into a cat lady. And Royce and I are just besties over here. Talking away. I can't believe he hasn't made a cameo. It's because It's because I've letting him go outside, so now he goes in and out as he pleases.
Wow.
I know. He's growing up.
I know. Our boy is growing up. Well, thanks for the chat.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
See you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Do a drive-by.
Well, I feel like I'm going to be victorious in the pizza challenge tonight. So.
Don't ruin it. I have the best one coming.
We'll see. It's going to come down to who's going to prepare it the best.
I know. And pick it at the right time so it hasn't sat for too long.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.